Balance your thinking is a skill that builds on reframe. Sometimes it might be enough for us to examine the connections between our thoughts and reactions, but other times we may need to ask more questions to ensure our thoughts are accurate. Balance your thinking is a skill to ensure you perceive situations accurately and help you react productively. The skill also helps you respond in ways that align with your values and support your goals. Think of this skill to look at a situation, like a person on the outside looking in, seeing everything and evaluating based on evidence and facts, not a gut feeling or reactions. Our beliefs and thoughts can interfere with our ability to accurately assess a situation. Sometimes we do not fully consider all the evidence and we make inaccurate judgments about an event. We can focus on the wrong information, miss something valuable, or make assumptions. The goal of Balance Your Thinking is to help you avoid these cognitive traps so that you can perceive situations accurately. There are many different cognitive traps, but generally they are all a form of reacting when you don't have all the information you need or you are not fully considering everything. We will discuss each of these cognitive traps in greater detail, but this is not an exhaustive list, and they aren't mutually exclusive. You can also be stuck in multiple traps at the same time. One of the most common cognitive traps is all or nothing. All or nothing thoughts are characterized by absolute terms like always, never, and forever. It can also be thinking of something as only good or bad, perfect or terrible. Getting stuck in this cognitive trap can contribute to a sense of hopelessness. For example, you always leave the lights on, or you never remember your keys. Few things are ever absolute, and there are generally gray areas. When we are stuck in this trap, we forget those gray areas. Confirmation bias is when we only find information that supports our existing opinion. We are attracted to information that confirms what we already believe. We search for or interpret information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs and thoughts. For example, if you believe that a coworker is difficult to work with, you may only see him or her doing things that confirm that opinion, like being late or making a mistake. If you have a confirmation bias, you miss the positive things a coworker may do, such as stay late to work on something or help someone else. Blaming others is when we focus only on other people as the source of your feelings or the cause of events. For example, I couldn't get to sleep early because my roommate kept me up watching movies. Blaming yourself is when we only think about yourself in a situation and not seeing the contribution of others. For example, your supervisor is quiet and you assume he or she is upset about your performance. Instead, it may be that he or she may be thinking of something unrelated. Mind reading is something we are all guilty of at some time or another. It can come in two different forms. Assuming you know what the other person is thinking, or expecting another person to know what you are thinking. One of the most common places this happens is in close relationships. After so much time together, you start to assume you know what your best friend or spouse is thinking and may expect him or her to know what you are thinking. Ultimately, this skill is about helping you take action based on evidence. So the skill is about understanding if you may be in a cognitive trap, and then using a strategy to get out of that trap. And it helps you respond to events in ways that align with your values. You cannot do that well if you do not have all the evidence and are stuck in a cognitive trap. So, first, you know how to use reframe to understand how your thoughts drive your reactions. If your reaction is not helpful, think about whether you may be jumping to conclusions and in a cognitive trap. If so, you can use 3 strategies to balance your thinking. So how can we avoid these cognitive traps? When you find yourself using unbalanced thinking, you can try 3 strategies to get out of it. Let us start by examining the evidence. Do you know everything you need to know? Is there any evidence to support what you think? Is there any evidence to challenge what you think? Am I missing information that would help me react more productively? For the second strategy, check for a double standard. Would I judge other people harshly if they did the same thing? Am I judging myself more harshly than I would judge someone else? For example, you missed a foul shot and blame yourself for losing the game. If a teammate missed a foul shot, would you blame him or her for the entire loss? The third strategy is to get a second opinion. You can always phone a friend. Make sure you, as an unbiased friend, will be able to see the situation objectively. Find out if someone you trust agrees with your thoughts. Or ask the people involved so you can be more accurate about the situation. Balance your thinking helps you perceive situations accurately and take action based on evidence. Determine if you are in a cognitive trap. Use the 3 strategies to balance your thinking. Examine the evidence, check for a double standard, phone a friend or ask. Revise your interpretation of the event if needed.